Okay, so welcome back to the MIG Golf channel. It's been a little minute, so I've been meaning to make these tutorials. So if you want to hit straighter, cleaner, and smoother shots, tap in. It all starts with your grip. Understand that everything starts with your grip. So today we're going to show you how to grip the club, the different types of grips, and find out which works for you. Okay, so why your grip matters. Your grip matters because this is your only connection to the club. So if this is off, everything else is off. You can have everything perfect, but if you have your grip slightly off or messed up, everything else falls out of alignment. Okay, so I'm gonna show you a few shots. So I'm gonna show you one with a bad grip. So I'm gonna use what they would call, I guess, a baseball grip. It's gonna be hard for me to really make a bad shot, because I practice to not make bad shots, but we're gonna try a baseball grip, what people call baseball grip. So I think some people like to grab a baseball grip, which is not bad, but you don't have the control you need to, and we're gonna use a loose grip. So I'm gonna show you what it would look like using a loose grip. Not too loose, because we don't want the club to fly out my hand, but here, we're going baseball grip, and that was supposed to be a bad shot, okay? So picture that shanking this way or shanking that way. It was a bad shot. Like I said, it's gonna be really hard for me to hit bad shots, just because I practice to hit good shots. So as we see, a good quality grip is crucial for making clean shots. So first I'm gonna go over the different types of grips there are. The general basics, because there's many different ways, and the thing about golf too, it's really preference, and it's all about feel. It's really about feel in a lot of cases, and how somebody may feel, swinging a club, gripping the club, and you gotta do what works best for your feel. So first we're gonna go over just the little basics of the different grips of the club. So, okay, so the different types of grips. So first, laying the club down, you have your neutral grip. So first you're going to take, depending on what you are, if you're a lefty or righty. For me, I'm a righty, so the glove will go in my left hand, and this would be what I like to call my guide hand. This is my guide hand. It's my guide hand, and this is really the power and shape hand. That's what I call it. Guide hand and power and shape hand. If this hand is off, the whole shot is off. If this is not straight and aligned to guide the ball, it won't be smooth. You want to be brushing the ground like that. But first, let's get back to the grip. You want to grip like this, make the gun sign, or fingers like a gun. And you don't want the club to be in your palm. You want it to be coming across your palm right here and in the grips of your fingers, as you see here. So when you lay it here, you should be able to pick it up with your fingers with the back of your palm and your fingers when you lift up the club. So when you lift up the club, it should feel like that. It shouldn't be all the way in your hands like this, in your palms. It should be right off the edge, back right there where you see the stain on the glove, and thumb kind of pointing down the shaft. Some people like to align it center, like that, center down the shaft, and then you got the index finger that makes a gun. So you should be able to pick up the club like this. If you cannot pick up the club like this, then you're not gripping it properly. So you grip it like that. Then you want to be able to interlock your pinky and your index finger. Boom. And then you come down. So a neutral grip. What determines the change of grips is the right hand. So generally every shot, you're going to have it like this with your left hand. Boom. The basic grip is to interlock your index finger with your pinky finger. You have your neutral grip right here, which would be your right thumb kind of straight down the shaft, and this would be considered neutral. Your weaker grip would be with your thumb on the left hand side of the shaft, like so. And your stronger grip would be with your right hand thumb on the back side, right hand side of the shaft. So grip pressure, that's another thing. So once you grip the club, we here, grabbed with our fingers here, interlocking. For me, I don't like to interlock So for me, I overlap. So I overlap my pinky over my index finger right in that groove right there, and then I'll grab the club right here. Just a much more comfortable feel. I have bigger hands, so for people with bigger hands, that might work better for you. Interlocking, that's what I did when I was starting. But one thing about interlocking, it'll give you the feel that everything's together. That's the one thing about interlock. Everything will feel as one, which is a good thing. So when you're just starting out, I would tell and recommend everybody to interlock their fingers. Your grip pressure, you don't want to be gripping the club too tight, like a 10. 10 would be the tightest. 1 would be loose where it flies out your hand when you swing. So I say you want to be, for me, I like to be a little more tighter than looser. So I would say anywhere from a 6 to an 8 grip pressure is perfect. 6 to an 8. And for me, I prefer this. I'm just telling you my preference. My preference is more neutral grip. Neutral grip. I love a neutral grip. So here we're going to show y'all with right grip pressure. So for me, like I said, I like a weaker or more neutral grip. So we aiming right for that 150, and we slow. We nice and slow. I like that. Nice line drive. So like I said, we want to hold everything together. Flex that front tricep. That one's a little more draw pattern. So we're gonna get one more. So this one, that's one thing about having the grips different. When you have a weaker grip, you will tend to fade more. So your shot will tend to go left to right. When you have a stronger grip, your shot will tend to go right to left. A neutral grip, it's kind of it's going to be fairly straight, but it just depends on your finish. But regardless of your finish, when you have a weaker grip, it's going to tend to go left to right. You can make it go right to left with a weaker grip, and we'll get to that. But just a little food for thought, little last tip. All right, so we're going to get this last shot in. I like it. Okay, so now I'm gonna give you some drills that you can use to work on your grip pressure or work on your grip just in general. So one drill I have is lead hand swinging only. Okay, so the first drill, and really the main drill for your grip, is to just line it up flattened on the ground, and we wanna take our lead hand. The biggest thing about our lead hand, and when we're gripping it, and we'll get to this in another video, is we want to flex this lead tricep. We don't want to have the arm really locked tight and the wrist locked tight. We just want to have this lead arm tricep flex. So the drill we're going to get our shoulder width stance apart, and we're just going to lead right here. We just want to hit the ground with our front. That's it. That's how it's gonna look from the side, here. That's all we want. We wanna just practice brushing the ground. We should have a nice brush on the ground. Nice brush on the ground. That's all we want. A nice brush on the ground. Nice brush on the ground. Okay, and then we're gonna try it with one ball. You know, we don't wanna do too many like this. But this is a 7 too, by the way. Usually when I warm up, I like to use a 52 or a 60, but I know a 7 is probably the hardest club for most people to hit, but that's generally, honestly, one of the better clubs and best clubs. So we working with the 7 today. Okay, well, this is one of the things you could do. Go to the range and practice this drill, that lead hand drill. Like I said, you just want to brush the ground, and we just want to worry about making slight contact. That's it. So with that being said, try that drill. Drop your comments. Let me know how you like the drill. Let me know if it helped you. Let me know if any of this information helped you. But stay tuned. Next video, we're talking stance and we're talking posture. Very, very crucial when we talk about swinging a golf club. Stay tuned and make it great.